From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Saturday, November 24th, 2018. Silver is trading at $14.29 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,223 per ounce. Zen is trading at $8, and the average price of Bitcoin is $4,346. Antiwar.com reports it's a topic UN officials have broached before, but during his visit to Hodeidah on Friday, Special Envoy Martin Griffiths suggested that the vital aid port could be spared from being a major war target by simply being placed under direct UN control. UN officials say that idea is to both preserve the city as a humanitarian pipeline into Yemen and to prevent the major port itself from being destroyed outright in heavy fighting. Britain is pushing a UN Security Council resolution calling for an immediate ceasefire in Hodeidah. Even in peacetime, Yemen imports the vast majority of its food. During the Saudi invasion, Hodeidah has been responsible for an estimated 70% of food shipments into the country and is the last port accessible by the Houthi-led north of the country. This has made it a big military target for the Saudis. There was no word on how the UN proposal is being met this time around, but in the past it was rejected by Saudi-backed groups who say the city and all other cities must be ceded to the pro-Saudi government. You can support FPP Radio by joining the Fans program. Fans are friends, allies, and numerous supporters. You can join the Fans program for as little as $1 per month through Patreon and get perks like ad-free versions of FPP Radio News and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com. That's fans.fppradio.com. UPI reports the U.S. Department of Agriculture has doled out roughly $1.1 billion of the $12 billion in aid it promised farmers to compensate for losses caused by the nation's trade war with China. Applications for aid are still coming in as farmers across the country complete their harvest. The money, according to economists, is doing what the government promised. It will help keep many farmers solvent for this year, but they worry if the nation's trade disputes do not end, the agricultural industry will need more assistance in 2019. The prices for many of the foods grown in the United States took a hit this year. Nations around the world responded to tariffs levied by the Trump administration by imposing their own, many on U.S. agricultural products. Zencash has changed their name to Horizon to better represent their transition from a cryptocurrency to a pioneering platform that protects consumer data. They're working towards the day when anyone will be able to build privacy-based applications on the Horizon platform and generate income from them. This will allow Horizon to bring thousands of real-life services to the community, services that provide freedom, utility, and privacy. Learn more at horizon.global and join the Horizon community. HORIZEN.global. Reuters reports a New York state judge rejected U.S. President Donald Trump's request to dismiss a lawsuit in which New York's Attorney General accused him of misusing his namesake foundation to advance his 2016 presidential campaign and his businesses. The decision issued Friday by Justice Sally Ann Scarpula of the state Supreme Court in Manhattan is a rebuke to the Republican president, whose lawyers had accused Attorney General Barbara Underwood, a Democrat, of pervasive bias for suing. Scarpula said the U.S. Constitution did not immunize Trump from the lawsuit, and Underwood could pursue claims alleging breach of fiduciary duty, improper self-dealing, and misuse of assets belonging to the Donald J. Trump Foundation. Underwood sued Trump and his adult children, Donald Jr., Eric, and Ivanka, on June 14th after a 21-month probe that she said uncovered extensive unlawful political coordination between the foundation and the Trump campaign. The lawsuit alleged, among other things, that Trump wrongly ceded control to his campaign of about $2.8 million to the foundation in a 2016 Iowa fundraiser for military veterans. Other challenged expenses include $100,000 to settle a dispute involving Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort and $10,000 for a portrait of Trump that was later hung at one of his golf clubs. In her 27-page decision, Scarpula called New York's lawsuit replete with allegations that foundation funds were misused, including at Trump's direction. She also said the state sufficiently alleged that Trump's actions were willful and intentional, citing allegations that he and his campaign arranged for the foundation to cut checks, helping generate vote-getting publicity that Mr. Trump would have otherwise paid for himself. The defendants have been trying to dissolve the foundation, and for this reason, Scarpula refused to issue an injunction barring the Trumps from running it. Trump has used Twitter to call Underwood's lawsuit a concoction by sleazy New York Democrats and pledged not to settle. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.